Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 704, and I called it Ernesto Day 1. It should have been part 1 or Day 1. Well, I decided to choose Day 1 because why Ernesto? Ernesto is the name given to the storm that is crossing the Atlantic Ocean. And here in Ireland, we are kind of used to, and we know well that many of those storms that are very often tropical storms, they don't necessarily hit Ireland directly, but we usually get tailwinds of such storms or cyclones or hurricanes, whatever they are. So very often we have warnings by meteo services, and this is exactly what happened. Ernesto is one of those storms that brushed against west coast of Ireland, and I wasn't aware of it on Wednesday when we were planning for the day, and we just started the day. The morning was very straightforward. We've checked on Julian's pinky toe in the left foot that he stubbed on Monday, just after the first day of summer camp, the soccer camp. And he couldn't walk comfortably on Tuesday, so he skipped the second day of the camp, and we checked on Wednesday morning, and it was a little bit better, but still not enough to run or do any sudden movements, so he skipped the second day. So the day started kind of quite a lazy way and slowly developed. Julian played a little bit of games, then myself and Elizabeth, we spent some time doing our stuff, also playing a couple of games of ping pong or table tennis, whatever you call it. And later on I went grocery shopping to get some stuff for dinner. Julian and Elizabeth worked on dinner while I, in between all those tasks, was meeting with different people and working to prepare all those handovers that I need to do before my access to the company resources ceases as I leave the current company that I worked for over 10 years. So it was quite a busy, but in a productive way, busy Wednesday, especially first half, and then obviously we had that dinner and we deployed the sauna business to Rosnaula. But before that, I learned about Ernesto approaching the coast, and I knew that we had a couple of bookings, so I was a little bit afraid because, my responsibility is the safety of the customers, and I wasn't sure if we'll be able to operate if the winds are too high. So I've checked the wind speeds and scanned the meteo map and checked how the winds and the whole air masses will develop towards us. And it turned out that County Mayo and County Galway will get the most of the hit by the storm, while Donegal looked fairly safe. We might have had high winds, but nothing out of the ordinary. So we decided to go ahead and deploy. I recorded a short video and posted on Instagram to make sure that the customers are safe and kind of, assured that we will be there. So we deployed the sauna. We arrived there. It was pretty empty. There were a couple of cars, but we quickly got that spot at the ramp because we obviously couldn't go to the beach. It is a springtime period, so the tides are very high, and the high tide was coming around 8 p.m. And we were there around 6, so we knew that there are about 2 hours until the high tide, and immediately we could see that the beach was almost completely covered. There was almost no sand visible, just a narrow strip of sand where some of the last cars tried to escape from the beach, and that was it. The ocean was raging and the wind was really hard, but not the hardest that we experienced. So it was fairly, I would say, high average that we usually get, and operated with the sauna, so I wasn't afraid about that. But shortly after we got the sauna ready and heated it up, we received a cancellation for those couple of bookings that were made by one person for all the people, and that was a bit disappointing. But this is what it is. Some of our bookings done by the website are obviously prepaid but this type of booking was one of the Instagram bookings, so not prepaid, and something happened on the side of the customer, so you can't predict these things. And so we stayed there for a while. It was pretty quiet, not many people brave enough to come and watch the ocean, albeit a couple of people came. We had a couple of chats, and pretty close to the end, when we were just about to wrap up, one of our returning customers came up with a couple of kids, family, some cousins and some own kids, just to have a swim. But they also decided to step in and support us, which was great, because it lifted us up a little bit on that empty day. It's business, it's a long game, and these days will be happening. Maybe even weeks will be very, very weak or even empty. So we are ready for that. But even if you're ready, there's always that kind of slight upset that happens in your head. So people like him and his family supporting us in those empty and difficult days. And it's not about money, it's more about the actual showing up that makes a difference for us as a business. Because money can be done in many different ways, and if not this way, then the another. But operating business, while the priority is on making money, I think the equal importance is to have customers that support you, or customers that believe in you and they like you and they feel good about your business. So I think it's 50-50 about every business. If any business focuses on money more than 50% and less than 50% on customer satisfaction, I think that's a very old way of doing business, and it doesn't work these days. And many businesses are basically struggling, even though they are very much established. They have good results or stable status. They are slowly fading in comparison to new age companies that are believing and doing that kind of emotional intelligence approach and treating customers with respect, not just as the cows that you can milk of money and pretend that it's all right. So yeah, our business is new age business. We are 50-50. The experience first, money second. And even though there are 50-50, we always kind of start with the experience, because I believe that if you provide a good experience, people will come back. And that's the most important thing. That's recurring revenue later on worked out because of that experience, and making sure that people are satisfied, they like you, and I hope they like us. So far, we have already many returning customers, which is very surprising to be like that after just below 2 months of operation, but also quite uplifting to have that in such a short time, and knowing that the approach does work. So that was pretty much it. Later on, we returned home, and that was the end of the day. But between them using the sauna and us departing, Elizabeth and myself, we went into a sauna ourselves for about a half an hour to 1 hour. And we went to the ocean 2 or 3 times, which was an amazing experience. The waves are huge, and they were massive. They were hitting the shore, and the returning water was quite dangerous in terms of the strength of pulling you back into the depth of the ocean. But it was still fairly safe if you were careful. So amazing experience, very surreal. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay safe. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, or evening. Stay tuned, and see you tomorrow.